Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Maurice Bishop again. I want to say good evening to all y'all chess lovers out here. All right. I actually want to share with y'all a game that I played against 2304. Very strong player. Um, he managed to play an opening that I was unfamiliar with, but I managed to actually um, turn the tables around on him. So, without further ado, let's actually get started. All right, so I played. Actually, I was black, he was white. He played E4, I played D5. Knight F3. I always see this opening a lot or whatever. I always see this, right? So certain stuff I know what to do. So I go D captures E4. He goes knight G5. I go knight F6, protecting the E4 pawn. He goes queen E2. Now normally I always see knight C3 go first, and then I go maybe bishop F5, then queen E2, and then knight C6 in that order. But he does queen E2 first, so I was a little confused or whatever. I wasn't really sure, but instead of going bishop F5, for instance, if I go bishop F5, he has queen B5, and I wasn't a fan of that. So after queen F5, uh, I'm forced to go to bishop D7 because if I go anywhere else, he'll take my bishop. So I'm forced to go bishop D7. And then if he takes this, I got bishop C6 and then bishop B5, where this bishop is pinned. So I didn't like this idea or whatever. I spotted it, after that queen E2, because I figured it just seemed like a trap. And when I look at a move, if it seems too good to be true to go bishop F5, obviously there got to be a trap. So that's what I was just thinking about. So when I saw that move, I was like, nah, man, I'm not gonna go bishop F5. I might have to go knight C6. If he want to win the pawn, he could just win the pawn. And that's exactly what he did. Knight captures E4, then I go knight D4. He takes, I go G captures F6, Queen D3, Bishop F5. He goes D3, stopping me from going knight captures C2 check. So I go Queen D7, just ready to castle queenside. I go knight C6 after he go pawn C3. He goes G3 and I castle queenside. As you can see, I'm already threatening bishop captures D3. But he stopped that by going to D4. I put more pressure in the center by going E7 and E5, as you can see. And I'm threatening with a pawn. If I take, he takes, and then knight captures D4. And then I still got the threat of knight C2 check as well. So that's the stuff that I'm threatening. But he defends with bishop E3. I still take anyway. And then when he goes C captures D4, I go bishop B4 check. Um, if he decided to go bishop d2, I wasn't too worried about that because then I still got knight catches d4. He can go bishop catches b4, but knight c2 check. It's yeah, he gonna lose his queen. He gonna lose his queen regardless because I'm threatening this. So yeah, so that wouldn't be a smart move on his choice. But anyway, after bishop b4, he goes knight c3. Obviously not bishop d2. And then I go rook a to e8. As you can see, I'm threatening knight catches d4 either way. I'm winning a pawn and still threatening knight c2 check. So he counterattacks with bishop b5, pinning my knight on c6. Not a problem. I go right in to queen d5. So not only am I hitting the queen on h1, but I'm also threatening bishop catches c3 with a check, and then taking this light square bishop. That's what I'm threatening. And the knight can't take, as you can see, because the bishop on b4 is pitting this knight, which is crazy, right? So I'm going forward, man. I'm attacking, man. I don't care what y'all do. I'm attacking. So he castles queenside. Not a problem. So I go bishop catches c3. And right now I'm threatening to take off this bishop b5. But obviously he's forced to go bishop catches c6, hitting my queen. I go queen captures c6. and then b captures c3. And then, of course, now that his light square bishop is gone, his light squares is weak, as you can see. Light squares is weak in a mug, like real. Like this is crazy, right? So I go bishop h3 automatically, hitting this rook on f1, but I'm also threatening mate on queen g2. So literally, the only way he could stop this is by going f3. But the thing is, as you see this f2 pawn, this f2 pawn is defending this e3 bishop. But the only way to stop mate is to push this f3 pawn. Just what he did. And because of that, I won his dark square bishop. Rook captures e3. All right. So rook after e1. I go rook catches f3. I don't even exchange the rooks. I go rook catches f3. You know, um, he goes d5 or whatever, things like that. Obviously, the move will not be rook captures d5. Obviously, because he has rook d1. Obviously not this because this would be mate. You know, even if he goes rook e8 and I go queen captures d5, he got queen captures d5, and he's hitting my um, rook on f3. But honestly, I don't even think this is right because after queen e3 check, he comes here, and then even after this, yeah, black is probably still good in this position. Black is actually still good, so that's pretty crazy. All right, but let's go back. All right, so d5. So what I did was I go queen c5 check anyway. Because I figured the king can't go f2, he can't go f1 because the bishop is guarding that square and the rook is guarding that square. And of course, my queen's guarding this diagonal. So the only place that the king can go is king h1. Obviously not um, rook e3. However, he did had a I would say he did had a queen d4 move that he could have did, but I probably would have just went queen captures d5. You know, like if he would have went here, honestly, I probably would have just went queen captures d4, and if he takes, I'll just go rook captures on d5, and I have an advantage, and I feel like I'm winning, even after if he decides to go rook e7, you might as well say that he's lost because now this rook is trapped. There's nowhere he can go, and my next move is king f8. Even if you decide to go king g2, you know, I still got rook d3, and then you know after I don't know rook e1, it doesn't matter. This rook is going to be lost. So one thing he's probably going to do is sack, and I'm just good. Black is just good, right? All right, so king h1 is played, and I played rook f2, and as you can see, I'm threatening bishop g2. And if he goes king g1, I'm threatening rook f2 with a check because the queen will be checking his king, and then this rook will take this queen, if you can see that. So my opponent goes rook g1. I go rook captures d5, hitting the queen. He goes queen e1, and then I go queen c6. Now the thing is, if the queen goes queen captures f2, then I have rook d2 check. Meaning that my queen is checking him, but also my rook is hitting his queen. Obviously not queen c6 because I would take queen captures c6 and I'll be mating him. So the only thing he could possibly do to block it is actually rook g2. But after rook captures f2, there's nothing that he can do. The rook can't take because this queen on c6 is pinning this on g2 row. So the only thing the rook may do is come here, but after rook captures g2, he'll take, and then queen capture g2 checkmate. So yeah, so that's the issue. So queen e4 is played, which he knew what he was doing. Queen e4 is played, but then I decided to do another surprising move. I did rook d to d2, um, letting him, or pretty much pinning his queen or whatever. And I'm also threatening to checkmate. After this, there's really nothing that White can do in this position. It doesn't matter what he does. He can go rook e1, and I'm so either way, he's not gonna be able to stop the checkmate. Not at all. Even if he goes rook g2, I'll still take this queen off, and he just lost. So in this game, queen captures c6, and then rook captures h2. It's checkmate, and that's pretty much how that goes. So if y'all asking, how did you be a high rated or a high rated player? Like, how did you even know? Like, what was your mindset? So, all right. So let's go back. So e4, d5, knight f3, d captures e4, knight f6, queen e2. All right. So when I saw queen e2, this was my first time seeing it. When I saw queen e2, I looked at. I don't know how y'all brain works or whatever, but when I look at queen e2, I looked at, okay, what is he really threatening or whatever. And I did see this diagonal. So kind of like how y'all looking at this green arrow, like right now, like visually or whatever. So when I look at positions like this, I get this mental note in my head of a green arrow that goes through diagonals or whatever. So I knew that how my mind works. If I go bishop f5 or whatever, I have this green arrow in my head with this queen e2 going queen b5 check. This is how my brain is working. Queen b5 check, hitting my queen, but also my bishop is on f5. He's hitting that, and then bishop d7, and then like for instance, if I go bishop f5, queen b5 check, bishop d7, queen captures b7, and then bishop c6, and then bishop e5. So this is stuff that I was going like I see these arrows in my head, and this is what it's going. So what I'm saying is, if y'all look at something, you want to look at potential threats of your opponent. Not just your move, but your opponent's move. That's what you want to really look for. So that's what I look for. So when I saw those threats and everything. Instead of going bishop f5, I just go knight c6 to prevent all that. So I let him get 1 point back. My thing is I just want to play my normal game, how I'm supposed to play. And I go knight d4. So when I go knight d4, he takes, I take back. He goes on queen d1, and then I develop. Remind you, this piece is not developed, this piece is not developed, this piece is not developed, this piece is not developed. I got two pieces developed, right? And I'm already threatening knight capture c2. So he goes d3, I go queen d7, c3, knight c6, g3, and then I capture queen side. Now I got this rook on here. Now this pawn is weak. So I'm just looking at weaknesses or whatever. But just play your own game. But develop your pieces as fast as possible. That's how you'll, even if you don't know the opening that your opponent is playing it and you're unfamiliar with it, just go with the simple principles. Just develop your pieces as fast as possible. Get your rooks on an open file or whatever, and you're straight. That's how it works and everything. And that's why when he went d4, I go e5. I'm attacking. I'm counterattacking. I don't know who's opening. I don't know how he play, how he destroy other people. I'm just going to what I know, basic principle. Basic principle always be all these fancy moves, whatever y'all want to call it or whatever. Just stick with the basic principles, basic strategies. You're gonna always win regardless or whatever. Which is why I beat this 2304. He goes here, E catches B5, Bishop B4. I'm going through basic tactics. Hey, let me just pin him real quick. You know what I mean? Knight C3, Rook A to E8. I'm pinning. His king is still the center of the board. My queen is safe. You know what I mean? Bishop B5, he pins me. All right, that's counterattack. Queen D5. I'm already threatening bishop capture C3, hitting this bishop. Look for tactics. I'm telling you, it may seem something small. Tactics may seem something small to y'all, but tactics, I'm telling you, it wins games. I know everybody used to always say chess is 99% tactics, and I'm so serious. It is 99% tactics. Tactics win. Chess tactics wins games, man. I'm telling you. And that's why I'm winning. That's why this bishop is pinning this knight. I'm already threatening this bishop. He castles. I take. I'm ready to take this light square bishop off, but he knows that I'm on his bishop, so he forced to take my knight on c6. He takes the bishop h3, and it's just to the point where I'm threatening mate. And the only way he could block it is with f3. So that's what I'm saying. Tactics I'm telling y'all, man, y'all need to study y'all tactics. I'm telling you, tactics win. It has nothing to do with open. With this, I didn't study this opening. I'm telling y'all, I didn't study none of this opening. I didn't look through variations or whatever, things like that. Through experience or whatever, I was going through principles or whatever. Principles, principles, principles. Principles is going to win. Principles is going to help you win games, man. Even with this opening, I was unfamiliar with or whatever, but I had to think logically, and I had to think, common sense wise. Okay, why reinvent the wheel if it's something that I'm already used to playing? Why try to do something different? Go by the principle, even if it's basic principle, just go by it. And as you can see, so much taxes or whatever. I won this game, and y'all can do the same thing. So I hope this helped y'all. I hope y'all take a lot in. I hope y'all really understand what I'm saying. Please like, please share, please comment, please share exactly your thoughts and ideas, in my comments below. And also, y'all, do not forget to subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace.